You know what would be better than watching this commercial? Watching your commercial. Join the party that is Make Your Day Richer TV by advertising your brand, business, or project during the show. Use us to promote what you're doing to make our viewers' day richer. Scan the QR code or visit makeyourdayricher.com/advertising to start promoting today.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Make Your Day Richer. Thanks for being here. Thanks for 94,000 views and download. Every day I get to put a new video up there and it's fantastic. Thank you so much for watching and sharing and loving the show like you have been. It is a pleasure, an honor, and a privilege to do this show every day for you and to introduce you to amazing people. The goal is to get to 100,000 people, 100,000 views by the end of the year. So we've got a couple more weeks. So we're going to need you to share the show right now. Just right now. Just take a little minute. Press that button, share the show, and we'll get there. Because we have a lot happening in the next couple weeks. First of all, next week is Christmas. Who knew that it would come so quickly? It's supposed to be, I'm here in a sweater and I'm dying in here. And it's supposed to be 70 here in South Carolina. I come from Wisconsin where it's probably 7 degrees and I do not miss it at all. But it's so, I also can't get used to, I've been out of Wisconsin since 2015 and I cannot get used to the warm weather around Christmas. I love it. I don't want it any other way. It's so hard to feel like it's going to be Christmas without at least some cold, which I don't want that either. I don't want snow. I don't want cold, but it's just so crazy that it's next week. And we're going to redo the entire set for Christmas. Starting on Monday, the 2 weeks, we're going to have fun it's going to look totally different in here. It's going to be really fun. And I hope you're all ready for Christmas. If you're not, there is still time to go to my gift guide at makeyourdayricher.com/shop. Get yourself a good present. Get your family members a fun present. Very good. On what I want to show you today, which is on my list, let me move this, is my Shark air purifier. Now, I have 2 of these, one upstairs and one downstairs. It's this thing. It's not plugged in right now because I stole it from my living room. But it's amazing. And this thing is so good. It tells you everything. And it's so sensitive that if you so we have one upstairs and we have one downstairs. And if you light a candle or an incense upstairs, the one downstairs will go off. It's very sensitive. Like you can't have candles going or it will try to work its magic. But I love it. And the house smells so clean when you walk in. There are little things. Let me see if I can grab one out of here. Like you can put in these little scent pod things that then make it smell good. But it works wonders when you have dogs, when you have pets, when you have people. It's a must-have. And so that's on my gift guide, makeyourdayricher.com/shop. Go check that out. All kinds of fun stuff, from coffee to air purifiers to cameras. There you go. I also, big news. So we have partnered with Podmatch. You may have seen that like in the notes on the show if you're looking at the descriptions to book some of our guests. The response over at Podmatch has been incredible. The amount of people we have lined up to be on the show is amazing. And we've only been doing that for, I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. So in January, starting January 3rd, whatever that Monday is in January, not the 1st, but that following Monday, first Monday in January, we're going to start having 2 guests per show, because there's just so many ways to make your day richer. And these people that I have the pleasure of interviewing need to be heard. Otherwise, we'll have guest booked all year, which is fantastic, and we'll continue to bring you good shows. But I just am excited to bring you more people every day, Monday through Friday, 2 guests per show starting in January. So that's very, very, very exciting. Today, though, we have a very good guest, and we only have one, but she's very good, and it's Cathelina Duvert, and she has a new book called The Box. It's her first time writing. She's actually had a blog for a very long time, and we're going to be talking about her battle with depression, how she has managed it, how she has thrived with it, and how you can too. As someone who suffers with depression, I'm always happy to talk about mental health and ways to make your day better and your day richer. And I think mental health is something that everyone deals with. It's a spectrum, and everyone should be in therapy, I believe. Whatever type of therapy you think works for you, talk therapy, there's art therapy, there's music, all kinds of therapies. Go find which one works for you. And it's also one of those things where it's not, I have to wait until I'm depressed. Do it before. Do it before it gets to be really hard to wake up in the morning. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. That's what Kathleen is here. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Cathelina Duvert after this. Don't go away.
Body is whispering secrets to you about the life you're here to live. Decode the messages about the joy you're meant to experience despite, or maybe because of, the condition that upended everything you thought you knew. If you're ready to make magic and meaning of your one wild and precious life, learn more about coaching with Nona at nonajordan.com.
Cathelina, we are back, and we're here hanging out with you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. First of all, just thank you for putting your life out there, your story. I think it takes a lot of courage for anybody in any situation to like put themselves out there in any way. And you've been so open and honest about your life. And so thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you talk about your blog and how did that get started? You've been blogging for a long time.
Yeah. I started blogging, my early days of blogging. I was blogging all about my dating life. I called it the True Confessions of a Reluctant Bachelorette. It's no longer in existence, but I was putting it out there. And then I wanted to write something more meaningful after I got married. And it started with me thinking about like how I suffered with depression and how I was able to use a number of different strategies in order to overcome depression on a daily basis. And I stress on a daily basis because I still suffer with depression. However, there were certain strategies that I took to every day you have to wake up every day and just go through these strategies. And so that's what I did. And so I was like, I felt like I really did. I cracked the code in dealing with, situations that might really bring you down and really bring you into a slump with depression. So I was like, I kind of want to share this. And that's when I started writing my blog called Kathy's Cross, A Depressive's Positive Perspective.
Oh, I know. Yes, like you were saying, this is an everyday thing that you deal with when you have depression. As someone who suffers from that, like it's an everyday kind of sometimes it's like, what's today going to be like? It's like a little game show, and sometimes you lose and sometimes you win. But it can also be so isolating, and you feel like you're the only person who's going through this. Did you go through that, or did you know like, well, if I'm doing this, other people have to also be going through this?
No, I felt like I was the only one in the entire world. Yeah. And even I remember as back as in high school, like really feeling isolated. I mean, I have a twin sister, and she couldn't even understand what I was going through. She didn't know how to help me, and I felt alone in the world. I didn't quite understand where it came from at the time. Mind you, I didn't even know I was suffering with depression. I just didn't feel like I felt like there was just something wrong with me. Something was wrong with my existence, with my reality, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And I didn't talk to any adults. I didn't know. I felt ashamed. I just didn't know. So yeah,
Yeah, especially. Oh yeah.
yeah. Go ahead.
I think especially with that word, right? It comes with so much baggage sometimes, and then you think like, well, my life isn't that bad. Why should I be depressed, or what is happening? But it's not,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, yeah. I felt like that for a very long time, and when I did realize that I suffered with depression, I I immediately felt ashamed of that, and I was seeing a therapist. I never told anyone about it. I just kept it to myself, and yeah, it was all the things.
Good, but here you are smiling today. I love it. I love it. And you're turning it into a memoir, right? Next year.
Yes. So I don't know if I want to call it a memoir. I started calling it a memoir, but I'm not quite sure if that's what it is or if it's just like reflections of what I went through. So I decided to take my blog and put it into a book in book form, right? And just different situations that I went through and my mindset and what I did in order to overcome those situations. And then what I want to do after each post or each reflection is have space where the reader can write their own reflections on it. So it's kind of
like
be
a
like memoir,
workbook too.
workbook, journal type of thing. Yeah.
I love that because then you can connect with someone who's going through it too, with isolation, like, and then you're literally reading something that's like, well, this person is going through it as well, so I'm okay and I'm safe. Yeah.
Exactly.
What are some, maybe, I mean, there's so many, but if someone is sitting at home and what are maybe some things that they can tap into themselves about the way they feel, what's happening around them, their thoughts, that maybe it might be time to talk to someone?
Yeah, I want to say the first thing I feel like helps a lot of people is journaling, right? And even if people are like, that I don't do that kind of thing, but just to write out your feelings, I feel like expelling them, right, getting them out, I think it's a major thing to help somebody just like feel relieved in the moment, right? I would like to say that reaching out to somebody like your most trusted person, just to say, hey, you know what, I'm not looking for any solutions right now. I just need you to hear me out. Because a lot of times I would tell my sister how I felt and she would try to fix it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to fix it right now. I just needed to let it out. And maybe we can get to fixing it later, but sometimes just letting it out is what helps you in the moment. And then the number one thing that I say to a lot of people is find your passion, that thing that that you cannot live without. For me, it was writing. And for some people, it might be gardening or drawing or watching movies or something, anything that will help you get over this thing that you're feeling at the moment. I think it goes a long way.
Yeah, if it's running, if it's like anything you can kind of do, because especially when it's in your head, then it's just swirling. So like you said, putting it down on paper, and it doesn't have to be in the form of a book. I call it word vomiting. Just like whatever is in here, just get it out. And it's amazing, if you've never done it, how you feel when you've done it. You can't even describe it.
It's so true. And I didn't have those tactics until I found out about them accidentally. I was doing these things with my sister and my cousins, and then after a while I felt like, wow, it's been a few months since I've really been depressed. And I put two and two together, and I realized that all these things I was doing, writing, journaling, reading self-help books, all of these things were helping me.
Do you think that once you have been diagnosed, either you're like with depression, are you ever cured of depression? Or do you think you all like, or you're always suffering?
I think
that's the wrong word, but
yeah, I think it's always something that's with you, right? And you have to you have unfortunately, I'm not gonna say unfortunately, but you have to put the work in, you know. I
Yeah.
think a therapist is really, really important to see, because you have to talk about your issues. You have to
Mhm.
talk about what it was that caused this problem in the first place. And and once you talk about it, you deal with it, you have to face the emotions. You can't just let it slide. You can't just put it on the back burner. You have to face the emotions. And once you do face the emotions, I think there are strategies that you need to take every day. What's the word? um Tools that you can use in order to overcome certain situations that may be similar to what you went through before. You know what I mean? So I think it's
Yeah.
an ongoing process.
Yes. Yeah, and it never ends. And some days are better than others. And the depression doesn't, like, it's not like you wake up one day with a headache and you have depression. Like, depression can sneak up on you over time and then suddenly. So I always tell people, like, don't wait to go see a therapist until you think you need to see a therapist.
Mhm.
Everybody should be seeing a therapist because it
I
will also help.
Yeah,
Preventative.
I think that too. I think even if you're somebody who was like, I've never been depressed, I still think that that person should see a therapist, because
Uh,
just letting the stuff
life is
out is
hard.
so healthy for you. Life is hard. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Even if you think you've got a good life, like, it's still complicated.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you hear from people who visit your blog?
Um, One thing, I thought I was the only one. That's what a lot of
Mm,
people say. Like, or I never knew that that's what I was dealing with, or I went through the same thing. And even people who don't really characterize themselves as depressives still feel the same way, because everybody goes through certain situations. Everybody gets depressed for certain situations, like maybe if a loved one has died, they broke up with someone, you know, you do enter a state of depression, but people tend to get away from that. You go through all your feelings, and then you come out on the other side. But depressives, they tend to stay there, right? And so even people who don't go through depression like I did, they find something that resonates with them, like, oh yeah, I get angry for those things too, and something like that happened to me too. So
yeah. Oh, it must feel so good to have created such a community.
mm, it does. I feel like I feel like I created it by accident, quite by
Yeah.
accident. And it
That's
was just
usually how
me,
it happens, right?
right?
Yeah.
And it was just me being myself, me doing the things that resonated with me, like writing and then putting it out there. And I remember somebody asked me when after one of my blog posts, he's like, you know, you're sharing a lot of private things about yourself. Why are you doing it? You don't know these people who are reading it. And I said, it's just my heart tells me to do that. It's just what felt right for me. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps. Yes. What did you want to be when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a world famous writer who traveled
Oh.
all over the world, you know, sharing her books. Now, I did become a writer and I published my
Mhm.
book. I'm so pleased with that, but I'm not world famous, and that's okay.
Not yet. Not this
Not
show. Watch. You watch. Next year you come back here and you'll be like, sorry, I don't have time for that little show anymore. I want to talk about your book, The Box.
Okay.
Tell everybody about that?
The Box.
Right there.
So, The Box is a novel when I started writing about 25 years ago, when I was in
Oh
my
my gosh.
mid 20s. I was about 25 years old, and I was suffering with depression, right? And I didn't know it was depression yet. And so I wanted to write about a woman who was going through issues, I called it, just like I did. And so I started writing this story, and of course her life had to be a little bit more interesting than mine. So she has this you know, fabulous job, and this boyfriend who loves her. She has a great friend. But when I realized, when I was diagnosed with depression, I was like, okay, that's what my main character has. And she suffers with depression, and the root of her depression was her mother, who sort of stifled her creativity when she was younger. And her mother has since passed on. And one day she's sitting in her living room and she looks at a painting that her mother had gifted her to her. And she's like, let me put it up on the wall. And then she noticed on the back inside the frame was a note written by her mother that she had never seen. And the note was basically basically telling the mother, I'm sorry I stifled you, but if you find my box, then you'll understand why. And so now she's going on this, sort of physical and emotional journey of finding this box that her mother refers to. And along the way, she meets the painter of the painting that her mother had gifted to her, and she learns things about herself and her mother that really go help her with her healing journey of depression.
Oh my gosh, where can people get the book?
Wow, funny that you should ask. People can go onto Amazon. They can find the book there, The Box by Cathelina Duvert. It's on barnesandnoble.com, and it's also on bookshop.org. And if I don't have a website yet, but I'm working on it. But if they go onto my Instagram page and they do click on my link, somebody can purchase it directly from me, and I can autograph it for them.
Okay, good. And what is your Instagram link so we can put it up there?
Sure. It's Cathelina Duvert, my first and last name. Simple.
How easy?
Yeah.
How easy is that? What do you love most about your life right now?
Oh, wow. That's so, you know what? I'm really proud of the fact that I finally brought this book out into the public. So that's what my life right now is revolving around promoting this book, really thinking about it and thinking about my next steps. So what I love about my life right now is that I'm actually fulfilling my destiny, not my dream of being a writer.
I feel like it is your destiny. And then a worldwide, renowned, super famous, you and I were going to go on the road, I promise. All right. Go buy the book. It's called The Box. Please come back when the next book comes out.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yes, I definitely will reach out again.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back after this. Don't go away.
Tired of harsh chemicals in your home? Let's change that. At EcoGlow Cleaning, we bring eco-friendly expertise right to your doorstep. We will make your day richer by bringing a glow to your home or office. For over 20 years, EcoGlow Cleaning has been the trusted choice for professional cleaning services in the Charlotte area. From deep cleaning to regular maintenance, EcoGlow Cleaning offers a wide range of services. All services are tailored to your needs and schedule. Our eco-friendly products ensure a healthy and safe environment for you and your family, including your pets. For a free quote, visit our website at www.ecoglowcleaning.com or give us a call at 704-777-9768. EcoGlow Cleaning is a proud sponsor of Make Your Day Richer TV.
We're back, everybody. I can't end today's show without talking about the shooting that happened in Wisconsin, which is where I am from. I know people who were working close within miles of where it happened. Enough. There was also a shooting yesterday. A school bus was shot, and I believe one person was injured in Charlotte, where I live currently. We're smart enough, right? We got to figure this out. Can we do something before all of our children are dead? I don't know. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And yet here in America, it kind of does. On tomorrow's show, author of The Donut Diaries, Rachel Lavin, will be here. Another fantastic show that I hope you tune into. Thank you for watching today. Go make your day richer. Go make someone else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. Also a good time to share right now, too. Now that you've seen how fantastic it is, share it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Have a great day. I love you. Goodbye.